was midnight. The streets outside were silent. No footsteps, no cars, not even the sound of the wind. Inside a small apartment, a girl named Anna was lying awake. She lived alone. Most nights were quiet, almost too quiet. But that night, something was different. She turned in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her clock ticked softly on the wall. Tick, tick, tick. Each second felt longer than the last. And then it happened. The first call, the sudden ring of her phone, cut through the silence. Loud, sharp. Anna jumped. She reached for the phone, her hands trembling slightly. The screen lit up. An unknown number. Blocked, hidden. She didn't recognize it. For a moment, she thought about ignoring it. But the sound was too sharp, too disturbing. So she picked it up. Hello? Nothing. No answer. Only a faint static sound. Like an old television with no signal. Anna waited. Hello, who's there? Still nothing. And then the line went dead. She exhaled, forcing a nervous laugh. Probably a wrong number, she whispered to herself. But deep down, something felt wrong. She placed the phone back and pulled the blanket over her head. Moments later, she drifted into a restless sleep. The next day was normal. Work, groceries, dinner. Anna almost forgot about the strange call. But when night came and the clock struck 12, her phone rang again. She froze. The same unknown number glowed on the screen. Anna's breath caught in her throat. Slowly, she picked it up. Hello. Again, silence. Her heart beat faster. This time, she stayed quiet. And then she heard it. Breathing. Slow, heavy breathing. Not hers. Not from her apartment. It was coming from the other end of the line. Her chest tightened. Who is this? She whispered. No response. Fear took over. She quickly hung up. The silence of the room returned, but it felt heavier, like the air itself was watching her. She couldn't sleep for hours. Every sound in the apartment felt louder. Every shadow seemed alive. The following night, it happened again, and then again. Every night, at the exact same time. Always at midnight. Always the same hidden number. Always the same silence. Or the sound of breathing. Anna stopped telling herself it was a mistake. This wasn't random. Someone was calling her. Someone who knew exactly when she was alone. Sometimes she let the phone ring until it stopped. Other times she picked it up, only to be greeted by that same dreadful sound. Her hands would shake. Her throat would dry. But the worst part was not the breathing. It was the waiting, the fear of what might come next. And then came the third night. It was exactly midnight. The phone rang again. The sound echoed through her small apartment. Anna's pulse raced as she reached for it. Her fingers hovered above the screen. Finally, she swiped and answered. For a moment, nothing. Just the faint static again. She closed her eyes. Her body was stiff with fear. She was about to hang up when suddenly She heard it, a whisper, low, close, right in her ear. I'm outside. Anna's blood ran cold. Her hand shook violently as she dropped the phone onto the floor. The call ended with a sharp click. Her eyes darted to the window, but the night outside was pitch black. Only her own reflection stared back at her. She didn't move. She didn't breathe. Every muscle in her body froze. And as the clock ticked past 12, Anna realized one thing. This was only the beginning. The first call was silence. The second call was breathing. And the third call a whisper. I'm outside. Anna was terrified. But the nightmare was only just beginning. That night, Anna didn't sleep. She sat on the couch with the lights on. Every small sound made her jump. The refrigerator humming, the pipes creaking, her own footsteps echoing in the empty room. She couldn't stop looking at the window. She kept expecting to see a shadow, a face, someone standing there. But the street outside was empty. No cars, no people, only silence. Her phone lay on the table. The screen cracked from when she dropped it. She stared at it for hours, waiting, praying it wouldn't ring again. And that night, it didn't. But the silence was almost worse. The following evening, she tried to act normal, cooked dinner, watched TV, told herself she was overreacting. But as the clock neared midnight, her hands began to tremble. Her stomach tightened. She sat in bed, staring at her phone. 11:57, 11:58, 11:59. Midnight. The phone rang. Anna's heart sank. The same hidden number. The same loud ring cutting through the darkness. She wanted to ignore it. She wanted to throw the phone across the room. But something inside her made her answer. Her hand shook as she held the phone to her ear. Hello. Silence. Then breathing. Slow, heavy. But this time, there was something else. A faint sound, like scratching, as if someone was dragging their fingernails across the microphone. Anna pulled the phone away in disgust. The sound stopped, and then the line went dead. By now, Anna was terrified of her own phone. She couldn't focus at work, couldn't eat properly. Every day she watched the clock, dreading midnight, and yet she couldn't resist. When the phone rang, she always picked it up. It was like the calls had a hold on her, like she had no choice. Some nights it was silence. Some nights it was breathing. And once she swore she heard a laugh, a low, broken laugh that echoed through the static. The fear grew worse. Her friends noticed she looked pale, exhausted, but she couldn't tell them. How could she explain something like this? One night, she decided she wouldn't answer. She turned off her phone, placed it on the table, tried to convince herself it was over. She sat in silence. But then, her phone lit up, even though it was powered off. The screen glowed, and the call came through. Anna gasped. Her hands shook violently as the phone buzzed across the table. She didn't want to touch it, but she couldn't look away. Finally, she picked it up. She pressed it to her ear. Static, then the whisper again. But this time, it was different. It didn't say, "I'm outside." It said her name. Ilana. Her blood turned to ice. She dropped the phone and screamed. The call ended, but she knew one thing for certain now. Whoever it was, they knew her. The calls didn't stop. Midnight every night. Breathing, scratching, a whisper calling her name. Anna was breaking. She couldn't carry this fear alone anymore. The next morning, she called her best friend, Lisa. Lisa had known Anna for years. She could hear the exhaustion in Anna's voice. "Anna, you sound terrible. What's going on?" At first, Anna hesitated. How could she explain? It sounded insane. But then she told her everything. The midnight calls, the whispers, the name, silence on the line. Then Lisa finally spoke. "That's creepy, but maybe it's a prank. Some weirdo messing with you." Anna wanted to believe that, but deep down, she knew it was more. Lisa made a decision. "All right, I'm coming over tonight. I'll stay with you. We'll see this together." For the first time in days, Anna felt a little relief. That night, Lisa came over. The two sat together in the living room. Lights on, phones on the table. They tried to distract themselves, watched a movie, talked about work, but no matter what, their eyes kept drifting to the clock. 11:55, 11:56. The tension in the room grew heavier. Lisa forced a smile. Maybe it won't happen tonight. Maybe it's over. Anna shook her head. It never stops. 11:59. They both held their breath. Midnight. The phone rang. The shrill sound echoed through the room. Both girls stared at the glowing screen. Lisa whispered, "Answer it." Anna nodded, slowly picked it up. "Hello." Silence. Then breathing. Lisa's eyes widened. She could hear it too. It was Anna's imagination. The sound grew louder, heavier, as if someone was standing right next to them, exhaling into the phone. Lisa grabbed the phone. "Who are you? What do you want?" No answer, only static. Then a faint whisper. Both froze. It said, "Lana." Lisa dropped the phone onto the couch. The call ended. Neither spoke for several minutes. The only sound was their own pounding hearts. Lisa refused to leave it at that. "Tomorrow, we're tracing this number. I don't care what it takes." Anna nodded weakly. Her hands were still shaking, but she felt a small spark of hope. If Lisa heard it too, she wasn't losing her mind. The next morning, they took the phone to a local shop. The technician checked the logs, searched the databases. After several minutes, he frowned. "This number," he muttered. "It doesn't exist." Anna and Lisa exchanged a terrified look. The man continued. "This line was disconnected years ago." The room went silent. Anna's heart sank. If the number didn't exist, then who was calling her? The technician's words kept echoing in Anna's head. This line was disconnected years ago. Lisa tried to stay calm. There has to be an explanation. Maybe a glitch, some database error. But Anna knew. Her gut screamed something else. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't a mistake. It was something darker. Lisa refused to stop there. That night, she searched online. Old news articles, archived phone records. Hours passed. Finally, she found something. An address linked to that number. An old house, abandoned. And then an article. Her face went pale as she read it. 10 years ago, a woman lived there. Her name was Anna. Yes, the same name. She was found dead, under mysterious circumstances. No forced entry, no suspects. The only detail in the report, neighbors claimed they often heard her phone ringing at night. Lisa stared at the screen, horrified. She didn't want to show Anna, but she had to. Anna read the article in silence. Her hands trembled. Her throat went dry. Same name, same midnight calls, same breathing. It was as if the past was bleeding into the present. Anna whispered, "Why me? Why now?" No one had the answer. That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She sat in her room, lights off, staring at the silent phone. She felt it watching her, waiting. Midnight approached. Her chest tightened. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. Then it rang. The sound pierced the silence. Anna picked it up with shaking hands. "Hello," she whispered. The breathing returned. Slow, heavy, almost in sync with her own. She closed her eyes. "What do you want from me?" This time, the whisper was clear. Low, cold, final. "You already know." The line went dead. Anna dropped the phone. Her entire body was trembling. Already know. What did that mean? Was it warning her? Claiming her? She curled up on the couch, clutching a pillow, waiting for morning light. But even as the sun rose, one thought wouldn't leave her mind. The calls weren't random. The calls weren't a prank. This was a pattern, a story repeating itself. And somehow, she was now a part of it. Anna couldn't take it anymore. The endless nights, the breathing, the whispers. She was losing her mind, her body weak, her spirit shattered. But she knew it wouldn't stop on its own. Something had to end. She made a decision. No more running, no more ignoring. She would answer the final call, and she would demand the truth. That evening, Anna turned off all the lights. She sat alone in her living room. Only a candle flickered on the table. Her phone lay in front of her, silent, waiting. Every tick of the clock was louder than the last. Closer to midnight, 11:59. Her breath quickened, her palms damp with sweat. Midnight. The phone rang, sharp, piercing, like a blade cutting through the silence. Anna closed her eyes, whispered to herself, "Be brave." She picked it up. Hello. At first breathing, slow, heavy. Then a voice, calmed, low, but filled with dread. Anna. She froze. Yes, I'm here. What do you want from me? The whisper dragged each word. This is where it ends. Her hands shook. Ends what ends? The voice grew darker. You know me. You've always known me. Suddenly, memories flashed. Dreams she never understood. Familiar shadows. A face she couldn't quite see. And then it hit her. This wasn't a stranger. This was her own reflection. Her own voice, distorted, calling from the other side. The phone slipped from her hand. The line filled with static. But underneath, a faint sound, knocking at her door, slow, deliberate. Anna stared, paralyzed. The knocking grew louder. Her candle flickered. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run, but her body wouldn't move. Then silence. The knocking stopped. The phone went dead. The candle went out. Darkness swallowed the room. And in that silence, a whisper breathed directly into her ear. Good night, Anna.
Goodbye.